is the area of focus that we are interested in exploring in terms of our learners? So we have scale, and then we have the area of focus, and then kind of what should our goal be, or what actually is our objective? Are we trying to explore where a learner is at right now? All of our state assessments show us where our learners were at multiple months ago. Or, so are we trying to figure out where our students were, where our student is right now, how our learner got to where they are right now in terms of what they were working on to get here in their progression of learning, or where is the learner going? What's our trajectory of where our learner might be going and thinking about? So the scale, the area of focus, and then our objective in terms of what we're actually looking for in our learners is what influences what we can get out of the assessment data. If we have state assessment data of our school as compared to the district, as compared to the state for our fifth graders last year, then we can ask questions about how did our fifth graders last year do overall? How many of them were proficient, near proficient, advanced, or underperforming? Each state has their own ways of like the binnings of how they do things. So we can think about how our fifth graders overall are doing. Sometimes we can drill down to subgroups to figure out how our students are doing, our fifth graders overall are doing. But we cannot use state assessment data to look at individual students. We cannot use state assessment data of our fifth graders last year to make a conclusion about our fifth graders this year. It can inform and we can draw inferences from it, but they are different students. So that's a disconnect of the scale and of the goal of what we're looking at. So thinking about what scale are we looking at, like if we have state data, a state district school data, we can't ask a question about individual students. What's the area of focus? If we have state assessment data about our students' overall scores, we can't look at individual topics or concepts. Sometimes those show up on our state test. So I'm not saying overall, like generally you can't do it, but if you're looking at your overall score of percentage of students by groups, you can't do that. If we are interested in where our students are at today, we cannot use our state assessment data from last spring. But those state assessment data can give us a lot of information about where our students were last year on overall of their understanding of whatever content area they were getting tested on at the school, district, and state level, for example. So there's a lot there. We just have to make sure our questions are matching the data that we have. So that is my first step of thinking about how to actually use assessment data and think about what we can get out of it, is make sure what we are wanting, what we're asking, actually meets the data that we have. Because otherwise, it can just feel like this black hole of a time suck, and we can get really frustrated, and we can feel like this isn't actually helping us, and there's no good there. And there's a lot of good there. We just got to align our scale, our area of focus, our goal objective with the data that we have.